Hello everybody, day 22. This video is called The Knife Threat and the First Person View. So first I quickly want to mention that I am adopting my emotional support animal today, most likely, because being without Niecy and Jack has been very difficult now coming into month 3 for getting into her 59th birthday soon, in 18 days. So anyways, I want to get this story into the video. So back in December, probably around the 20th or so, Niecy and I are sleeping in our spot when this guy walks up. And when you're homeless, you don't know whether someone walking up is actually homeless, trying to cause problems, a drug addict, whatever, or whether it's just some random person walking by. So the person comes by, and it's like 3 in the morning, maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, and he's watching and looking at all of our stuff when he decides that he's, going to stand there and try to steal something potentially. So Niecy wakes up, and Jack wake up, and I wake up, and Jack starts, getting very defensive as he does, protecting us. And then Niecy gets really upset, starts telling the guy he needs to leave immediately, but he's not leaving. And he's got a knife in his hand, but he hasn't actually pulled out the blade yet. And so I'm laying there, and I'm starting to get very overwhelmed by my autism. He's triggering my CPTSD. So finally, when the guy's still standing there like, oh no, I'm going to steal some of your shit, and there ain't nothing you're going to do about it, I stand up and start telling the guy to leave. And so I point where he's going to leave, but I stretch my arm out, and I start screaming at the guy, leave now. And I make sure the guy understands it's in his best interest. So I do that for about probably 5 minutes. And then the guy finally decides to leave. And he goes away, and I protected us. But he actually pulled the physical knife blade out on me and threatened to stab me. He also threatened to stab Niecy and Jack before he ever pulled the knife blade out. And that's what got me to stand up. And then, because this memory goes along with it, then 2 days later, just about, Niecy makes a first-person video about, what it's like to be homeless to show people. And in the process, mentions a little bit about the knife threat. You can watch that video on her YouTube. Now, the words above that and the words in the description are not true. I was with her for 7 years, and I know her better than anyone else, and I've got insight to her and insight into our relationship that no one else can physically have, and that I won't talk about because it's governmental and personal. But anyways, she posted that video recently, and you can watch it, and she talks about the knife threat. She doesn't go into much detail. She just says, we had a knife threat, but I want her to know I love her, and she's always protected. So is Jack.